Thank you, class, for watching my video. What I'll be talking about is the benefits of fasting today. Fasting is abstaining from all or some kinds of food or drink, especially as a religious observance. What we want to talk about today, and some of the main points that I want to hit on, is does it have health benefits? Does it have healing properties? And what's the history behind fasting? Our bodies, since the beginning of time, have been created to fast. We started off as hunter-gatherers. We got our food from either hunting or from growing food. They didn't have groceries back then, grocery stores back then. They didn't have drive-through fast foods or restaurants. So we either had to hunt our food or grow our food. So your body, because that was hard, it took time to find those things, find food. You may even, because your crops didn't grow as well, so you had to spend the time, or you had to really be careful about making your food last, because maybe your crops didn't grow as well as you wanted it to. There's also been a history in religion of fasting. You can go from Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, Hinduism, and Islam. All of them have some sort of fasting a part of them. So there is a history, not only spiritually, but physically in human beings when it comes to fasting. There are a couple different types of fasting, whether it's a water fast, a vegetarian fast, a vegan fast, or there's a bunch, but we want to talk about a few. Spiritual fasting. It's when a person fasts from food, to spiritually grow closer to a spiritual being or a spiritual practice. They believe that by doing this, it will benefit them spiritually and make them a healthier spiritual being. Intermediate fasting is an eating pattern. So you plan out when you're going to eat. It doesn't really specifically say what type of foods you're going to eat, but what you have decided to do is only certain times of the day you're going to eat. One of the more popular ones is a 16-hour fast. For example, someone will start fasting at 10 o'clock at night. Go to bed, wake up the next morning, go about their day, go to work, go to school, whatever it may be, and they won't have their first meal until 2 o'clock. And we'll talk about that, what the health benefits of that are. Ketosis is a specific fast, specifically fasting from carbohydrates and sugars, consuming a high-fat diet in hopes of training the body to use the fat as fuel. The body either uses sugars and carbohydrates or fats as fuel. And if it's using sugars and carbohydrates, it's going to store the fat for another time. So if you take away the sugars and carbohydrates, your body naturally will go back to a fat-burning type of body. Health benefits. Brain cell regrowth is one of the health benefits of fasting. We have found that people who fast, their brain cells start to regrow. And one of the specific places it does is in the hippocampus. And if you do not know, the hippocampus, one of the major parts of the hippocampus is memory. Increase in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is a little parts of your body that burn the fuel. Well, if it's not having readily available fuel, those things start kicking into high gear and they start finding reserves. And they're going to find the fat reserves. Autophagy, and enhanced stem cell production. When your body starts to fast, it starts to take different things in your body and starts to reuse them. It starts to make them more specific, starts to make them more efficient. And with autophagy, it takes those dead proteins and turns them into good proteins. It delivers their energy to good proteins. Enhanced stem cells, it starts to ramp up your stem cell production. So it takes, and stem cells are cells that aren't being used for a specific task, and they can be used in all different areas of your body. Weight loss is one because it starts to eat the fat, and also brain focus. Your body naturally focuses its brain onto tasks when it goes through a starvation mode. Because back in that, like we go back to history, your body is a natural fasting machine. But when it goes through those starvation mode, it tells the brain to focus because we're in starvation mode. We need to pay attention. We need to be more efficient, and we need to focus more because there could be a time where we have to go hunt. So in summary, fasting has a history of health benefits. There's more than one form of fasting, and there are significant health benefits to fasting. Some of the possible research areas is illness-specific testing. How does fasting affect a specific illness? Does it help it? Does it hurt it? Are there certain types of fastings that help it? Gender-specific testing. How does fasting specifically affect women and men? Because their bodies are different, chemically, physically. Does a certain type of fasting help one and not the other? More productive ways to fast. How can we get better at fasting? And for those who want to fast but aren't really, it's not a good idea for them to lose too much weight. How do we get them on board? How do we provide them those health benefits without the weight loss part of it? That's a good thing we need to research. In conclusion, fasting is not just an ancient religious practice from spooky ancient religion. No, it has healing benefits. There's a reason why they did it. So we need to take that into consideration. And it has a history within us, so our bodies are natural fasting machines, and we need to use fasting to bring us to a healthier place. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you guys. Leave comments. I'll answer back. And you guys have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.